The upcoming appointment of Catherine, Princess of Wales, as an extra lady of the most ancient and most noble Order of the Thistle is being viewed by many royal watchers as far more than a routine honor. Behind the ceremonial traditions and historic symbolism, some observers believe it signals a major shift in the balance of influence within the royal family. For Queen Camilla, this development is being interpreted by commentators as a moment that could dramatically reshape her position within the monarchy's public image and ceremonial hierarchy. For nearly 3 years, Camilla occupied a unique place at the very top of royal life. Her appointment to the Order of the Thistle in 2023 was celebrated as a significant milestone, recognizing her role beside King Charles III after a long and often controversial journey into the heart of the monarchy. At the time, the honor appeared to strengthen her standing and reinforce her place within the institution. But as 2026 unfolds, that sense of exclusivity is beginning to change. The expected investiture of Catherine has sparked intense discussion among royal commentators and palace insiders. One question continues to dominate conversations behind the scenes. Why does Catherine receiving the same prestigious distinction appear so significant? And why has this particular honor attracted so much attention compared to countless other royal appointments? To understand the growing interest, it is necessary to look beyond the elegant ceremonies and impressive regalia. The answer lies within the structure of the order itself and the extraordinary prestige attached to membership. This is not simply another royal decoration handed out during a routine event. The Order of the Thistle stands among the highest honors in the United Kingdom and represents Scotland's most distinguished order of chivalry. Established in its modern form by King James VII in 1687 while drawing inspiration from much older traditions, the order carries centuries of history. Membership is intentionally limited, making it one of the most exclusive honors within the royal system. By long-standing rules, only 16 ordinary knights and ladies may belong to the order at any given time. Those selected are typically individuals whose contributions to public service, Scotland, or national life are considered exceptional. Because of this strict limitation, every appointment attracts attention. Vacancies are rare, and membership is often viewed as recognition of a lifetime of dedication. Entry into the order places an individual among a very select group associated with the nation's heritage, traditions, and constitutional history. However, there is another category of membership that exists outside those 16 places. The sovereign has the authority to appoint royal knights and extra ladies. These positions are not restricted by the standard numerical limit and are generally reserved for senior members of the royal family. This distinction carries enormous symbolic importance because it highlights individuals who occupy a particularly significant place within the monarchy itself. The Order of the Thistle also holds tremendous visual power. It represents Scotland's historic connection to the crown and serves as one of the strongest ceremonial expressions of royal authority north of the border. Every aspect of its design reflects that heritage. The thistle, Scotland's national flower, appears throughout the insignia and symbolizes resilience, protection, and endurance in the face of challenges. Accompanying the emblem is the order's famous Latin motto, Nemo me impune lacessit. The phrase is commonly translated as, "No one provokes me with impunity." For centuries, those words have been associated with Scottish identity, determination, and national pride. Within royal ceremonies, the motto reinforces the order's deep historical roots and enduring significance. For Catherine, receiving this honor would represent another major step in her evolution from royal newcomer to future queen. It would further strengthen her public profile and place her among the most senior figures within the institution. Royal observers note that her popularity, visibility, and role in supporting the future of the monarchy have steadily expanded over the years, making such recognition appear increasingly natural. For Camilla, however, the situation carries a different meaning. Much of her public journey has involved earning acceptance and establishing legitimacy within an institution that was once deeply divided over her role. Her appointment to the Order of the Thistle in 2023 was viewed by many as a powerful endorsement of that progress. It symbolized acceptance, recognition, and a secure place within the royal hierarchy. Now, with Catherine expected to receive the same distinction, some commentators believe that exclusivity is fading. The honor would no longer belong solely to Camilla during Charles's reign. Instead, it would become another visible reminder that the monarchy's future increasingly revolves around William and Catherine. That reality has fueled widespread speculation about shifting influence behind palace walls. As King Charles continues shaping the monarchy for the years ahead, the expected appointment of Catherine appears to signal more than ceremonial recognition. It reflects the gradual transition already taking place within the institution. The spotlight is moving toward the next generation, and Catherine's growing list of honors demonstrates just how central her role has become. At the heart of the discussion is not simply a title, a medal, or a ceremonial robe. It is the symbolism attached to them. For years, Camilla's position benefited from occupying a unique space at the top of the royal structure. Catherine's arrival within the order would change that equation forever. The moment she receives the order's iconic green velvet robes, royal watchers believe it will mark another unmistakable sign that the future queen is stepping closer than ever to the center of royal power and public attention. What appeared on the surface to be a simple royal appointment was, according to royal commentators, the latest chapter in a much larger shift taking place inside the monarchy. The growing discussion surrounding Catherine, Princess of Wales, and the Order of the Thistle was not driven by a sudden family disagreement. Instead, many observers viewed it as the collision of two very different visions for the future of royal influence and leadership. According to reports circulating among royal insiders, King Charles III's decision to move forward with plans involving Catherine's potential appointment followed a lengthy period of reflection. Over the previous year, the king faced significant health challenges that naturally limited parts of his public schedule. During that period, Catherine's role became increasingly important as she continued carrying out public duties while also facing intense personal and media pressures of her own. Many supporters saw her ability to balance those responsibilities as proof of her resilience and dedication. Her appearances attracted widespread public attention, and commentators frequently pointed to her as one of the most trusted and admired members of the royal family. As a result, discussions about honoring her with additional distinctions gained momentum behind palace walls. By the spring of 2026, royal analysts noted that King Charles had publicly praised Catherine's contributions on multiple occasions. His comments were widely interpreted as a sign of confidence in the future generation of the monarchy. Far from being a simple family gesture, many saw these endorsements as part of a broader effort to strengthen public confidence in the institution's long-term stability. For supporters of the Princess of Wales, an appointment to the Order of the Thistle would represent a natural progression in a royal career that has steadily expanded over the last decade and a half. Catherine has already received several prestigious honors during her time within the royal family. Each recognition has reflected her growing responsibilities and increasing visibility on behalf of the crown. Her connection to Scotland has also become a major part of her royal identity. Through her role as Countess of Strathern, she has spent years building relationships with communities, charities, educational institutions, military organizations, and cultural groups throughout the country. Those efforts have often been highlighted as evidence of her commitment to strengthening ties across all parts of the United Kingdom. Unlike many royal figures whose public image has experienced dramatic highs and lows, Catherine has largely maintained strong approval ratings. Her supporters frequently point to her careful approach to public life, her focus on duty, and her ability to avoid unnecessary controversy. Those qualities have contributed to her reputation as one of the monarchy's most dependable and recognizable figures. Because of that reputation, many royal observers believe an appointment to the Order of the Thistle would carry significance far beyond ceremony alone. It would symbolize trust in the future queen and reinforce her growing role alongside Prince William as the monarchy gradually prepares for the next generation of leadership. At the same time, the possibility of Catherine receiving this distinction has fueled intense speculation about how the change could affect existing dynamics within the royal household. Royal commentators have repeatedly noted that symbolic status matters enormously within the monarchy. Titles, honors, and ceremonial positions often send powerful messages about influence, importance, and future direction. For Queen Camilla, the situation is especially sensitive because the Order of the Thistle has represented one of the most exclusive honors associated with her role during King Charles's reign. Her appointment in 2023 was widely viewed as a major moment in her royal journey. It reinforced her standing within the institution and provided a visible symbol of her place at the highest levels of royal life. Her formal installation at St. Giles's Cathedral in Edinburgh further emphasized the importance of the distinction. Since then, the honor has remained closely associated with her public identity. As a result, the prospect of Catherine receiving the same recognition has naturally generated discussion among royal watchers about how that exclusivity could change. If Catherine joins the order, the visual and ceremonial gap between the current queen and the future queen would become significantly smaller. Rather than being the sole senior female figure connected to this prestigious Scottish honor, Camilla would share that distinction with the woman expected to one day stand beside the next monarch. That possibility has led commentators to suggest that the appointment carries deeper symbolic implications than many royal honors. Some view it as another indication that attention is increasingly shifting toward William and Catherine. The transition may still be gradual, but many believe the direction of travel is becoming impossible to ignore. The conversation becomes even more intense when discussions turn toward the long-term future. Within royal circles, there has long been recognition that the position of a queen consort is closely linked to the reign of the monarch she supports. When a reign eventually comes to an end, the structure surrounding that role inevitably changes as well. Because of this reality, analysts often speculate about how senior royals work to preserve influence, visibility, and legacy during periods of transition. Honors such as the Order of the Thistle become especially important because they represent lasting symbols of status that remain associated with an individual's place in royal history. For that reason, some observers believe Catherine's appointment would mark a major symbolic milestone. It would reinforce her standing not only as Princess of Wales, but also as the central female figure of the monarchy's future. At the same time, it would serve as another reminder that the institution is steadily preparing for the era that will eventually follow King Charles's reign. Perhaps most importantly, royal experts agree on one point. The debate surrounding the Order of the Thistle is not really about robes, medals, or ceremonial processions. It is about what those symbols represent. Within the royal world, symbolism can often carry as much weight as official authority itself. That is why Catherine's expected elevation continues generating headlines and intense behind-the-scenes speculation. For her supporters, it represents recognition of years of service and preparation. For royal watchers, it offers another glimpse into how the monarchy is evolving. And for those closely following palace dynamics, it may be one of the clearest signs yet that the future queen is moving ever closer to the center of the royal stage. For many royal watchers, Catherine's possible appointment to the Order of the Thistle represents far more than another ceremonial milestone. It is increasingly being viewed as a powerful symbol of where the monarchy is heading and who will ultimately carry its future into the next generation. As discussions surrounding the honor continue to grow, some commentators believe the move reflects a broader effort to strengthen the position of the future king and queen at the very center of royal life. From that perspective, Catherine's elevation would not simply add another title to her growing list of distinctions. Instead, it would reinforce the public image of a royal partnership that many see as the foundation of the monarchy's long-term future. Supporters of the Princess of Wales argue that years of public service, dedication, and steady leadership have made her one of the institution's most valuable figures. At the same time, royal analysts have noted that senior members of the family often appear united when it comes to supporting the future line of succession. While much of what happens behind palace walls remains private, observers frequently point to the strong working relationship between Prince William, Princess Catherine, and Princess Anne as evidence of a shared commitment to stability and continuity within the crown. Prince William's role in this evolving picture cannot be overlooked. As Prince of Wales, his responsibilities have expanded significantly in recent years. Many commentators believe that every major step taken to strengthen Catherine's public standing also strengthens the future monarchy they will eventually lead together. In that sense, recognition through one of Scotland's most prestigious honors would carry both symbolic and strategic importance. For William, Catherine's growing influence is often viewed as one of the monarchy's greatest assets. Throughout periods of public uncertainty and intense media attention, she has remained one of the institution's most recognizable and trusted figures. That reputation has only increased speculation that further honors and responsibilities will continue coming her way in the years ahead. Standing alongside that future vision is Princess Anne, whose reputation for discipline, dedication, and loyalty to royal duty remains virtually unmatched. For decades, Anne has earned respect across the political spectrum through her relentless work ethic and unwavering commitment to public service. Royal commentators frequently describe her as one of the institution's strongest defenders of tradition and continuity. Because of that reputation, Anne's support for Catherine has attracted considerable attention. Observers have long noted the mutual respect between the two women, both of whom are often praised for putting duty ahead of personal publicity. Their shared approach has led many royal watchers to view Catherine as someone who embodies many of the qualities Anne has spent her entire life demonstrating. Together, William and Anne are often portrayed as important pillars supporting the monarchy's future direction. While palace decisions are rarely driven by any single individual, the public perception of unity among senior royals sends a powerful message about stability and succession. That perception becomes especially significant whenever discussions involve prestigious honors or constitutional symbolism. If Catherine joins the Order of the Thistle, many believe it will establish another clear marker in her journey toward becoming queen. The honor would place her among an elite group associated with centuries of Scottish history and royal tradition. More importantly, it would signal continued confidence in her ability to represent the crown at the highest level. The broader significance lies in what such appointments communicate. Within the monarchy, ceremonial distinctions often serve as visible expressions of trust, status, and future expectations. Every ribbon, robe, insignia, and title carries meaning far beyond its appearance. These symbols help tell the story of who currently occupies the center of royal life and who is expected to shape its future. For that reason, discussions surrounding Catherine's potential appointment have naturally sparked comparisons between the present and the future. Royal commentators frequently point out that Queen Camilla's position is closely tied to the reign of King Charles III, while Catherine's role is directly connected to the next generation of leadership. Those differing realities create a fascinating contrast that continues generating headlines. Many analysts argue that this contrast explains why Catherine's possible elevation has attracted such extraordinary attention. The appointment would not diminish anyone else's contributions. Instead, it would highlight the monarchy's ongoing transition toward its next chapter. In many ways, it would serve as a public acknowledgement of responsibilities that Catherine is already gradually assuming. The symbolism becomes even more striking when attention turns to the ceremonial traditions associated with the order itself. The investiture ceremony at St. Giles's Cathedral in Edinburgh ranks among the most visually impressive events in the British honours system. Every detail reflects centuries of history, national identity, and constitutional tradition. Should Catherine receive the honor, she would take part in a ceremony rich with symbolism and pageantry. Dressed in the distinctive dark green robes associated with the order, she would join a tradition stretching back generations. The iconic regalia, elaborate insignia, and historic setting combine to create one of the most memorable spectacles within royal life. The famous green velvet robes are particularly significant. Instantly recognizable, they have become one of the defining visual symbols of the Order of the Thistle. Their dramatic appearance, combined with the historic insignia worn during ceremonies, creates an image that captures attention across the world whenever investments take place. Alongside the robes, members wear the celebrated Star of the Order, an ornate emblem featuring the Scottish thistle surrounded by the Order's historic motto. For centuries, these symbols have represented loyalty, service, and connection to Scotland's national heritage. Their importance extends far beyond ceremonial fashion. They are deeply woven into the identity of the institution itself. If Catherine appears in this regalia, many royal observers expect the images to dominate headlines across the globe. Photographs from royal ceremonies often become defining moments that shape public perceptions for years. In an era driven by visual storytelling, symbolism can sometimes speak louder than official statements ever could. That reality is one reason why appointments such as this generate so much discussion. The monarchy operates not only through constitutional functions, but also through symbolism, tradition, and public image. Every carefully staged event contributes to a broader narrative about continuity, leadership, and national identity. For Catherine, participation in such a ceremony would reinforce her status as one of the most prominent figures in the royal family. It would showcase her connection to Scotland while highlighting her growing importance within the institution as a whole. Many supporters would undoubtedly view the moment as another milestone on her path toward queenship. Meanwhile, commentators continue debating what the appointment would mean for the broader royal landscape. Some see it as confirmation that the monarchy is steadily preparing for its future leadership team. Others view it as recognition of years of dedication and public service. Either way, few deny the symbolic weight attached to such a prestigious honor. Perhaps the most important point is that honors like the Order of the Thistle rarely exist in isolation. They become part of a larger story about succession, continuity, and public confidence. Every appointment sends a message, whether intentional or not, about how the institution sees itself and where it intends to go next. As a result, Catherine's expected elevation has become one of the most closely watched royal developments of the year. Supporters see it as a deserved recognition of her contributions. Critics and commentators analyze it for clues about future palace dynamics. The public sees another sign of a monarchy continuing to evolve while remaining deeply connected to centuries of tradition. When the ceremony eventually takes place, attention will undoubtedly focus on the breathtaking setting, historic rituals, and remarkable regalia that define the Order of the Thistle. Yet beneath all the spectacle lies a much bigger story. The event will symbolize continuity, preparation, and the gradual passing of responsibility toward the next generation of royal leadership. And for many observers, that may be the true significance of the moment. Not conflict, not rivalry, and not palace drama alone, but the unmistakable image of a future queen stepping ever closer to the role she has been preparing for throughout her years in public life. As the monarchy continues evolving, every honor, every ceremony, and every public appearance adds another piece to the bigger picture. Whether viewed as a historic recognition, a powerful symbol of succession, or a glimpse into the future of the crown, Catherine's growing role remains one of the most talked about stories in royal circles today. And if recent developments are any indication, the spotlight on the Princess of Wales is only getting brighter.